Divorce is never, ever easy, and it's hardest on the kids. I've only ever talked about it one other time on this channel, but my parents got divorced in 1996 when I was 10 years old. In this episode of My Retro Life, I'm going to shed some light on one of my family's darkest times and how a Nintendo 64 game actually helped in the healing process. What's up, guys? It's your buddy Tyler coming at you with a brand new video here on My Retro Life. And Christmas of 1998 was one of the most memorable Christmases of my life. My parents had been divorced for a little less than 2 years at this point, and it was the magic of video games at Christmas time that helped heal my heart from a painful family divorce.
Tyler and the whole crew of psychopaths.
As an only child with no other siblings to lean on, or friends who had gone through something similar, I really leaned more and more into escapism, and video games helped me get through these hard times. And my dad and I began collecting video games at an alarming rate around this time because I think it helped him too.
Ta-da. To Daddy, it's a big box. It says, "Love, Tyler."
By Christmas of 1998, I really feel as though my family was starting to turn a new page. There was a lot of healing that had begun to happen. My mom and dad were actually talking again and becoming friends again.
Oh, man!
The Kramer!
Did your mother really pick this out for me? Or was it your idea?
No, she said she wanted to get you a Kramer shirt.
She did? Well, that's nice of her.
This was major for me to see my parents getting along once again after a very messy divorce. I've really got to hand it to my mom and dad. By 1998, they really found a way to pull it together, and especially make me, as their only child and son, understand that they still loved me, that they never stopped loving me. And a big way that they poured out that love was through gifts. And of course, as you all know, video games were my favorite thing in the whole world.
Rato, yes! He came back. Oh my god, it's Metal Slug! It's Metal Slug!
1998 was chock full of amazing video games. Some of the greatest video games ever released in the 32-bit and 64-bit era came out in this amazing year in gaming. Going into the holiday season this year, Nintendo faced stiff competition, guys. I mean, this was the year, 1998, when Sony PlayStation released games like Resident Evil 2, Metal Gear Solid, Spyro the Dragon. This was one of the greatest years in that console's life. But guys, the game that just made all the other games I got that year take a backseat was the Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time.
There's Zelda in gold.
The hype around this game was insane back in those days. Zelda Ocarina of Time was actually one of the most expensive games ever developed. It actually cost $12 million to produce this game, which was unheard of back in those days for a video game. People were salivating over the release of this game. It had been teased since all the way back in 1995 when the Nintendo 64 was first getting announced, but it kept getting pushed back time and time again.
Zelda 64 is going to be one of the biggest selling games ever for their system. Now we got a chance to talk to Shigeru.
In late 1998, hype for this title had reached a fever pitch. I really wish that my mom had videotaped everything that happened that Christmas at her house when I had my Christmas with her, because that was a very, very special time. It was one of the first Christmases I can remember really spending with my mom after the divorce had happened. Going into Christmas that year, this was a game I had on my list, and it was one I really wanted, but it wasn't until I actually opened it up at my mom's house and saw the box art where the reality really sunk in that this game was finally out. And here I was holding Zelda Ocarina of Time, a game that had long been delayed, a game that everybody, all the gaming magazines, everybody was talking about and hyping up. And here it was. I got the gold cart collector's edition too, not the gray cart, the more limited version. And there was so much excitement. I just remember feeling, I don't know, as a kid feeling like I was holding gold. It was something very valuable. And it did become something very valuable to me. Turning on that console with that game in it for the first time and hearing the opening notes of Zelda the Ocarina of Time with that beautiful piano melody coming through my mom's television speakers. It felt like a wash had come over me. I don't know if you can understand what that means, but there was something so peaceful and healing about that theme music on the title screen for this game that every time I go back to this game and play this game, I have to literally stop and listen to it and just take it all in. All of these memories come flooding back to me in a way that's very emotional, actually. And I think more so than a lot of the game music that I listened to from back in those days, I think more so than a lot of those themes, this particular opening theme kind of just does something to me that, I don't know, I think the best way to describe it is actually this comment that I read on an upload on YouTube that is for the original soundtrack of the game. And the comment says, "You know that feeling when you hear this soundtrack after so many years, it hurts." There's something about this game that it left such an impression on so many of us that every emotion, everything that was going on in our lives back then, it all comes flooding back. And this game and its music and its graphics, its story, everything about it is the gateway to all of those memories.
Well, Merry Christmas, Tyler.
Merry Christmas.
You're the best boy a daddy could ever have. I love you too.
I think playing this game and going through all I was going through around that time, at that age, I think it was very cathartic and healing. In a way, this was one of the most coming-of-age games I think I ever played in my life. At such a pivotal point in my life, I was almost going to be a teenager when I first got this game. Just in about 4 months, I would turn 13. And it really resonated with me. The entire theme of going from being a boy to a man in this game, turning from young Link to adult Link, all of that on some subconscious level even, I think impacted my ultimate feelings about this game and why it became so special to me. I have to thank this game, and I have to thank Mom for getting me this game, because this was the right game at the right time. It's like that bridge. It's that weird bridge 2 years after my parents got divorced, where the pain was starting to subside and be replaced by better memories, better times. Zelda Ocarina of Time not only became my favorite Zelda game of all time, it became my favorite game of 1998. And I'll always remember 1998 and Zelda Ocarina of Time. Well, that's about it for this video, guys. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching today. And as you can imagine, this was a difficult video for me to produce. A lot of very bittersweet memories were conjured up while I was recording this video, and so I really hope that ultimately I was able to shed a little bit of light on my family and some of the darker times we went through. It wasn't all magic with video games and amazing Christmases and birthdays. We were just like every other family out there. Like you guys, I'm sure a lot of you have probably experienced the pain of divorce. And so I really wanted this video to be a dialogue about what that was like and how video games actually helped in the healing process. A game like Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time was the perfect game at the perfect time in my life to really help heal some wounds. If this is your first time to the channel, please do consider subscribing. I love talking about my game crazy family and all the amazing memories we shared, so many of which were captured on tape. I can't wait to show you what I have next. Well, that's it, guys. Merry Christmas from my family to yours. I'll catch you next time.